Hey there, everyone. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Amber.
We're identical twin sisters from Southern California. While we may look exactly alike, sometimes we think that's all we have in common.
We invite you to grab a cup of coffee
Or a glass of wine.
and hang out with us for a little bit.
This is Hashtag Twin Life Podcast.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good.
How is everybody doing? How was your Thanksgiving? Hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. Before we get into our podcast this week, please make sure that you subscribe. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please make sure that you hit that bell so you guys know, and subscribe so you guys know when all of our episodes are out, which they are out every single Wednesday, anywhere you listen to a podcast as well. So you can, if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, please make sure you also subscribe there so you can, get multiple alerts and you won't forget. And we would love for you guys to give us 5 stars and leave us a comment. It really helps get us out there to other people that listen to us. So we really appreciate that. But to kick us off, how was your Thanksgiving celebration, twin?
Thanksgiving was really good. We cooked way too much food. Like, we still have tons of leftovers, just like literally in the fridge right now. Like, I can't fit barely anything else in there. And normally that would be great because I would just be literally eating Thanksgiving leftovers for the next week and just until I got sick of it. But I am not doing that because I literally have not had any leftovers whatsoever. Even yesterday is normally my cheat day, and I was like, do I really want Thanksgiving food? I really just no, we still have apple pie and pumpkin pie in there. And I think what it was on my cheat day, even though I can eat whatever I want, I still get full really easily. So I still have to be very choosy on what I eat, because I can't eat all the things, you know what I'm saying? I would literally have a tiny bit of pie and then a tiny bit of this. And so I was just I really don't want to eat Thanksgiving. I just didn't want to eat it yesterday. I don't know. So, yeah. So, and plus I had my cheat day, or Thanksgiving was basically semi my cheat day. I basically just didn't track what I was eating. I ate Thanksgiving food. We had a few drinks, whatever. So it wasn't crazy. We also had Jordan and Katrina over. We did not have them tested, if anyone's wondering. None of us took COVID tests, but Derek literally works with Jordan every single day. So it's kind of he's already been exposed to him. We see his girlfriend Katrina all the time. So it's we could quarantine. They're already part of our bubble. So there's no point in us all getting tested for the people in our bubble already.
Jordan also lives with you.
And Jordan lived with us for a while too. So the exposure's already there. So we didn't do any testing, but we did do this huge meal. I posted some photos on Instagram. If you guys want to check out my Instagram, and there's photos of the table. Katrina helped me take some cute, pretty, pictures of the table and the setup and everything. And Phoenix didn't really enjoy Thanksgiving food too much. He ate the chicken that Derek made. So so we talked last week kind of about what we're gonna make. So Derek made the chicken that he normally makes, and Phoenix loved the chicken, but he didn't really want to eat mac and cheese or sweet potatoes or any of that stuff. I literally, you couldn't stop me from eating leftover Thanksgiving food when I was little, and he was just eh. So maybe it'll grow on him. As we cook it every year, he'll start to be nostalgic about it and enjoy it a little bit more. But yeah, Jordan literally ate enough food for 4 people. So I'm so glad we made extra food. Between him and Derek, they ate. I thought Derek ate a lot until I saw Jordan eat, and I was just how? It's just, and then he felt sick afterwards. Man, I ate too much.
Days. No, Blake was literally couldn't even move at the end of the day. He's I ate too much. The next morning, he's I ate too much yesterday. I'm why? You didn't have to eat. You didn't have to eat all the food. It wasn't necessary to eat that much food yesterday. I'm glad you guys had fun.
yeah, it was really fun. And it was just we basically did Thanksgiving the way we would have done it. We watched football. The Cowboys lost,
Yep.
which was annoying because they were doing so good at the beginning of the game. And then I don't know what the hell happened. Like,
They lost their, well, okay. If you know anything about football, they lost their right tackle and left tackle in the first like minute of the game. And they obviously don't have their starting quarterback. And then they I don't know, they just kept losing players. So they were down 3 players, 2 of which they had just gotten back. So
yeah,
they got back like last week, and that's why they ended up winning their game last week, which sucks because I didn't watch the game last week and they actually won it, and then I watched this week and then they lost. So maybe I just don't need to be watching the Cowboys games anymore for this season. But our Thanksgiving was really we got all the festivities.
yeah, that was pretty
Oh,
much
okay.
it. We just enjoyed the rest of the stuff, the night and hang out, and we watched Jingle Jangle, and
God, I
yeah,
feel like I'm still gonna watch that.
yeah, you should watch it.
Watch that. Our Thanksgiving was good. It was just me, Blake, and Landon. We originally were going to drive to Arkansas to go see my parents for Thanksgiving, and then we changed our mind because we're going to Arkansas for Christmas anyway, to stay in like a cabin with Blake's family. So we just decided to make it one big trip. It's also a lot further away than we initially thought. For some reason, I thought that it was 8 hours, and it is 8 hours to Little Rock, but it's another like hour and a half, 2 hours from Little Rock to Fort Smith, or Little Rock to I can't remember where we are going, but it's just not as close as we thought. So it's a solid 10-hour drive instead of like an 8-hour drive, which is fine. It's just we were initially like we wouldn't have been gone for very long for Thanksgiving. It would have been more of a turnaround trip than we initially thought. Plus, with everything going on crazy with COVID, we were like, it was just better. We felt like for us to drive one time instead of twice in a month.
Yeah.
So it's literally a month. Like Christmas is a month from Thanksgiving. If you've never thought about it that way, it's literally a month from Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's basically exactly a month.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of driving to try to do. So we ended up staying here, which is great. But I still cooked just as much freaking food as I would have if I was feeding like a whole couple families came over. Like we had so much food, and again, like me also with me doing the counting my macros as well. Like Thanksgiving food has quite a bit of fat in it, depending on what it is, and
yeah.
So like especially, I actually have been the opposite of Ashley. I've been able to kind of fit in my leftovers into my macro counting. I just have been eating very like small portions of things instead of eating like a whole heap of mac and cheese. I just eat half a cup of mac and cheese and put grilled chicken on it, which I did yesterday, and it was dank. Or whatever, like I've just been doing stuff like that. So I've been able to eat some just because I don't like, I really hate wasting food. Like it's really not that I just so want to eat it. It's really more that I hate wasting food, and I have so much food in my fridge right now that I don't eat, and I can't expect Blake to eat all of it. So, but on Thanksgiving, we had the whole weekend. So Blake was off he had a half day on Wednesday, and so we ended up like I can't remember what we did. I think we just kind of I feel like we did something on Wednesday, but I can't remember what it was. I think we just went and we did we did a little bit of like last minute grocery shopping. Blake made cider over Thanksgiving. I didn't count macros on Thanksgiving Day. Ashley didn't count macros on Thanksgiving Day either, right?
Yeah, I did not do that.
Yeah. So so because I didn't count macros, I was still full though, and I've only been doing this I'm on day 18 right now. And I was like, I normally just eat and all the things, and I just could not eat all the things. Like it was just a lot. So, anyways, we watched football. We hung out at the house. We did end the night. Twin was watching a Gilmore Girls Thanksgiving episode, which is great.
Oh.
And Blake cracked up. He said apparently I made him watch it with me last year. So when we watched it this year, he just kept saying how funny it was. He just kept laughing, and I was like, I was like, it's still funny to me, but I've seen it like 100 times. And since he's only seen it that one other time, it's been a year, so it's like watching it again, like kind of watching it for the first time. So he was just like cracking up
Yeah.
watching it. But it's hilarious. If you've never seen, it's season 3, episode 9. If you didn't know, where Lorelai and Rory go to 4 different Thanksgivings in one episode, and it is hilarious. So we did that.
Yeah.
And then we kind of just chilled for the rest of the weekend. Like we stayed in. It's just so cold here. We took Lane into the park one day this weekend and just kind of enjoyed it. And then Blake was back to work this morning, but we were able to have like 4 days of like chilling and relaxing, which is nice. And like I also was telling Blake, and I told Ashley this too. Last year on Thanksgiving weekend, I had to be at work at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So
I remember that.
yeah, and that really sucked. So I was very mad at life that day. So this year, I had to do the same thing on New Year's Eve. Also, I had to be at work at 5 a.m. on New Year's Day. And so I was so happy. Like neither Blake nor I had to work, and he was cracking up. He was like, "This is the first time in a long time that I'm literally getting paid to enjoy a holiday
on a holiday."
No, like,
yeah.
I was like, because for me, holidays were low key kind of stressful because if I chose to take the days to enjoy the holiday, I was still kind of like anxious about
Because
how
you're
much
losing
money
money.
I'm losing money. I'm not making money. Should I have worked the Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving party upstairs instead of whatever? Or should I work, Black Friday? Should I?
They
like,
did close. They did close on Thanksgiving. I think the last 2 years we worked there. Because it was so slow, and Gerald didn't want to do like a Thanksgiving. People don't go out to eat Thanksgiving elsewhere. It's not like Easter where like people go out, because it's Sunday.
Or Mother's Day.
But people don't go out and eat, huh?
Like, or Mother's Day, like stuff like that.
Or Mother's Day. Yeah. People don't go out to eat like on Thanksgiving. So like there's a back and forth for years about like, should we do a Thanksgiving? Should they do it? And if you guys aren't understanding what we're saying, but we used to work at this restaurant called the Oasis. We've mentioned it before. And they do a lot of like specialty banquets on Mother's Day and Father's Day. And they even do a New Year's Eve thing. They do like all the holidays basically like that are like family holidays. They usually do something, but Thanksgiving.
Except for Christmas.
Is on a Thursday, which is normally a slow day in service industry, like a relatively slow day, unless you're a bar. It's really slow. So like there's literally no point in being open, and they would be open every single year. We're like, can you just close? Like, can you just be closed? Like, no one's coming. No one is coming here on Thanksgiving. People are cooking the entire day, and then they're going to their family's house. Like, the only people that are coming out on Thanksgiving are sad people. Like, that's really it. So, and they're not coming here. They're going to go to a bar. So I was just like, so finally, I remember when they told us, like, we're closing on Thanksgiving. I was like, what? You're going to be closed? Applebee's was closed on Thanksgiving. So it was closed on Thanksgiving too. So
I feel like for Thanksgiving, since it's an American holiday, that it should be closed. Everything should be closed. Christmas, I'm a little iffy about. Most of the country celebrates Christmas, but there still are people that don't celebrate Christmas that live in our country, and it's a pretty decent portion of people that don't celebrate Christmas. And so sports on, like there's a lot of sports on Thanksgiving Day and a lot of sports on Christmas too. So it's like if you work in a bar or something, like you being open at night on Christmas night or on Thanksgiving night, especially apparently the number one drinking day in the year, twin, is the day before Thanksgiving. Didn't know that.
Well, this year. Wow.
Yeah, apparently. So apparently that's the number one drinking day because I think everybody's coming in town, college kids and everybody. Obviously this year is an exception, but normally everybody's coming in town to their hometown or to visit their family a day ahead of time. So they go out at night and go drink. Christmas, people tend to have like all the Christmas festivities happen in the morning, and then they go out at night on Christmas and go drink. So yeah, anyways, so that's not really important, but yeah, it was just, I don't know, this year was like, it was really nice. Blake and I were in our little house, and like it was just cozy. It's the first time Blake and I have spent a Thanksgiving just he and I, because every single other year we've been together, we've been with some member of my family. So
yeah,
it was cool. Like we cooked our the whole Thanksgiving dinner together from scratch, mind you. And Blake was like, we need to host Thanksgiving because our Thanksgiving dinner was so good, and we were like, we just really need to host. So that's kind of a plan for the future. Definitely host Thanksgiving at our house because we just had so much fun cooking and getting everything ready. And Landon really didn't eat any of the Thanksgiving food either.
Yeah.
He did eat macaroni and cheese the next couple days. Like I made a macaroni and cheese and put some broccoli in there for him last night. So he's eaten some mac and cheese. He did eat a little bit of the mashed potatoes. I put that for dinner with like grapes for him one night. So like, but he looked at it so sideways when I put it on his plate. Thanksgiving. So I don't know. Hopefully over the next like year or so or the next couple of years, he'll start kind of getting into it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into our did you sees, shall we?
Sure.
Do you want to go? You want to do yours first? Do you want me to do mine first? Actually, let's
I can
do
go
mine
first.
because yours is kind of like it's something that you haven't talked to me about. So
Okay.
and I feel like our chat will be a little bit longer. So let's do that on the tail end. So
Okay.
my did you see this week is we've been talking a little bit about our opinions on the whole what's his name? Oh my gosh. Really?
Johnny Depp?
There you go. On Johnny Depp not being in the next like Grindelwald, the Fantastic Beasts movies. So
Yeah.
and a lot of people were saying that it was unfair because Amber Heard hasn't lost her contract with Aquaman and she's just as nuts. So
Yeah.
like it just seemed very if women want to be treated equally, then she should get an equal punishment and lose her job right as well. It's not fair for him to lose his job too. Like that's ridiculous. Because it's not like she's not the victim. I don't think she's the victim. I think they're equally wrong and they're equally crazy towards each other. And I think I think maybe she may be a little more just because there's been a lot of things of her like apparently she cut some limb off or something, an ear or something weird. She did something really weird. So like there's just some weird stuff happening. So I think so. Anyway, so the article said it's a petition. People started a petition to get her to kick her out of the second Aquaman movie.
She wasn't even that good in it.
It's 1 point. It's at as of the time I read the article, so a couple of days ago, it's at 1.5 million signatures to remove her from the Aquaman films, and I think that's fair.
People didn't want her in that movie to begin with because of the situation with her and Johnny Depp.
Yeah. There's also the flip side of where like personal I mean, okay, I guess Kevin Hart said it right. Like fans are like the feds. So
yeah,
you really can't do anything in your private life as a celebrity now without it coming to bite you in the butt for your career. Like you used to be just like you could be secretly crazy and do weird stuff at home and like just be a crazy person. And then you could be a jerk on set, you could be all these things and no one would ever know. Now you get some like, intern on your set of your film and now there's a video of you acting like an ass on set and now nobody ever wants you're blacklisted for the rest of your career. Like that's the way the world is. So I still feel like it's a little bit unfair though, because if you want these people to still have their own private lives and be able to make their own mistakes, they should still be able to do their job. But I guess
and they should be able to control the content
about them that's going out there. But I think if teachers can get fired for their social media posts, then
yeah.
I mean, I can think that's kind of the world we live in right now. So
I think the only argument I have is that according to the courts in Europe where this was tried, I guess, he was at fault. He lost. So I think that's probably why. I think if she had lost, then who knows? They may have terminated her contract. But since he lost, that's why they decided to part ways. He's still getting paid, by the way.
Yeah, he is still getting paid because they just don't want to have him in the film. I mean, when the stuff first came out and the movie came out, they cut him from all the previews of the film. So a lot of people didn't even know he was in it, which is weird because the movie's about his character. The second one is about his character. But I mean, I guess I understand how like your personal mistakes and your personal issues and criminal behavior and abusive behavior can come out and bite you in your butt. But I mean, again, like we hold people to a specific standard, and like if you're going to be in the public eye, I guess you're supposed to stay. It's like You're supposed to uphold this,
I feel
but
like
people.
unless you sign a morality clause like they do in the NFL, whatever happens in your personal life shouldn't affect it
Yeah,
at all. I think what they're worried about is because people are so like in everyone's business now, they're worried about their movies not making money because people are like boycott Johnny Depp or cancel him, and so they don't go see his movie. And I don't think people are going to not go see a Harry Potter movie because Johnny Depp did some crazy stuff. Like, we already know he's kind of bats, so who cares? Like,
he's a fantastic
I
actor.
don't.
He's so good as that character in that movie. I don't think anybody else is
Yeah,
going to be able to get that. Johnny Depp has a weirdness and an eerie way about the way he plays his characters. Even just like, when he was the Mad Hatter, or when he was Willy Wonka or Edward Scissorhands, all these characters that he plays, he gets so enveloped in them that it's almost to have a different actor play him is almost like a caricature of what somebody he's already created. You know, he's
yeah.
created this
If he's like
character
somebody else playing Jack
already.
Sparrow.
Yeah, like, it's stupid. Like, nobody else can play Jack Sparrow. Johnny Depp is Jack Sparrow always and forever. Like, that you just can't. It's not Batman or Superman, So,
Yeah, for real.
but okay, so let's do yours. Year did you see?
Okay, so mine is that I was honestly just today listening to Miley Cyrus's new album, and it's actually really good. Like, there's some songs on there that I'm kind of like, I don't really know about this, but like, there's one song with Billy Idol. I'm not a huge Billy Idol fan, so I kind of like skip that song. But the rest of the album is really good. There's like some jams on there for real. Like, I was like singing the songs like they were like getting stuck in my head and stuff. Like, they're really, really good. I think that the only thing that I'm sort of sad about is that I know that the music videos that are going to go along with, because she's not cursing a lot in these songs.
I'm
Like, the
just gonna
basis
avoid
of
the
the
video.
songs, the videos are going to mess it all up. Like, have you seen the Dua Lipa video that's been coming around
I didn't
with
watch
her
the
in it?
video because the promotional Instagram shot that they did was so weird that I was like, I'm about to mess. And I like that song. So I just decided with Miley that it's probably best if I don't watch the videos,
Yeah,
because I really enjoy her music, and she be messing my whole life up with these videos that she puts out for these songs. Is it as weird as I
I
thought?
know.
As I think in my
I
head.
haven't seen the music video, but I've seen enough clips of it. Like, it's basically her and Dua Lipa, like, I guess they're like vampire lovers or something. I have no idea. There's like blood in it. It's weird. It looked really weird. So I just didn't see it. And then when I listened to the song, I just try to forget that that's what I saw, because it's such a good song. I feel like she's ruining it with these music videos. Like, Taylor Swift did it right. Her music videos, Justin Bieber too, their music videos are amazing. When you hear the song, you want to see the story, not some weird artsy something that Miley Cyrus feels like she always has to do. Like, I don't get it. So,
Yeah.
and she's an actress too. Like, why not use your acting chops in your music video? I don't understand. But
Yeah.
anyways, you should ever listen to the album. I know you told me, who was it that came out with an album too? Ariana Grande, you said, or
Yes, Ariana
somebody? You
Grande's
said,
album is fire.
have you listened to
This is
Megan Thee Stallion's album? Megan Thee Stallion?
no. Is it good?
I haven't. I do. Do you think I'm a Megan Thee Stallion fan, twin?
No, that's why I was surprised that you brought that up.
I just have seen a lot of
I was really like,
people tagging her songs, and then she has that challenge that's been going out, that video challenge, that Yachty challenge, where people have been doing the Yachty dance. It's from her music video. Google it. She did it. Somebody created another challenge or whatever. So there was actually a viral video of a guy at Starbucks. She pulled up to Starbucks to get a drink, and the guy saw that it was Megan Thee Stallion, and he started doing the challenge. Like, he started doing the dance to her song. And then she also sent Jeannie a bunch of gifts in honor of her song to her house.
Jeannie Mai?
Yeah.
Wait, why did she send? I don't understand what the connection is to that.
It was like a promotional thing.
Oh,
I
why
guess
she is
Jeannie.
marrying Jeezy, who also Young Jeezy just dropped an album, by the way. He has a song with Demi Lovato. on his album.
What? Is it good?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't heard it. She was just promoting it on his. She was promoting it. So lots of good music dropping at the end of 2020, by the way, guys. So please check out.
Yeah, in case you didn't know.
In case you didn't know, please go and check out like these these albums that these artists are dropping just to cap off the new year. I had a feeling that if anything good came from 2020, it was going to be music. So
yeah, for real.
Oh, and then I guess last but not least, if you have had your head in a rock and didn't know that there are many, many, many viruses that are supposed to be coming out in the next 2 weeks. I mean, not viruses, vaccines that are supposed to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. Keep your eyes peeled because apparently they're trying to have most of the world vaccinated if they can by March, or at least have the vaccine readily available to anyone who wants it by March. And that seems far away, but that would mean exactly a year after the coronavirus stopped our entire lives that we would be able to start our lives again. So, yeah, that would be pretty cool. It'd be really great news for the start of to just be able to start 2021 with knowing that there is relief on the other side. Like obviously there's going to be once we get the virus under control, then we have to deal with all the socioeconomic issues and psychological issues and all that stuff that come along with the whole situation that's happened. But I feel like that to me is way more manageable when you can get people in the same room with each other and get people in groups, get people with therapists, get people back with their families, get people, you know what I mean? You can get
back in the gym, back at school,
back at school, back going to have dinner, back socializing, back going to do things they love, watching sports, feeling more united. I feel like that is going to really help just with the psychological issues that some people may experience from this whole horrible year.
Yeah.
So I guess just keep your.
I'm not sure. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, well, if you guys aren't keeping track on the news, we'll let you guys know if for some reason we end up taking one of the vaccines, or we'll let you know how any of that goes.
Yeah, I'm not. I feel like since you and I are pretty sure that we all already had COVID back in,
February.
December, November of last year, I don't know if I'll be partaking in the COVID-19 vaccine. I feel like a year is not long enough to convince me that it's safe to take. Like I literally like there's a guy that I work out with, and he got the flu shot. And he never gets the flu shot. Never. And he got the flu shot, then his ass got the flu like 2 days later. So he's pissed. Yeah. He's like, what the heck? Why did I even get? I was like, you probably got sick from the vaccine. That's kind of what it does. It gives you like a mild version of whatever it is. Your body fights it off and builds the antibodies. Well, some people, like people that don't normally get the flu and don't normally get vaccinated, are not going to get like the mild version of the flu. So my only thing about it is that as far as we know, there's only one strand of COVID. So they should be able to harness it to the point that like chicken pox, harness it to the point that we could actually be immune to the actual COVID-19 virus, and not like the flu where there's like hundreds of different strains. So I don't really know if I'll be in that first test group of people taking the vaccine, but I mean, I'd be interested to see if I know anybody that takes it, how their bodies react to it. So
right.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's go ahead and get into our topic. So we're actually going to chat a little bit about Christmas and holiday shopping, because I know like not everybody celebrates Christmas, but like holiday shopping is a thing. Like during this time of year, most people, there is usually some sort of winter holiday, and most really,
winter holiday and some sort of gift giving as part of the tradition of pretty much every winter holiday like celebration.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're going to kind of just like talk about like our shopping and how we plan on shopping this year, and just kind of like some of the maybe some of the issues we've come across or whatever. So, been mostly doing your shopping online or in person, Twin?
Online.
Online.
Online. A couple reasons. One, I'm not trying to stand in line anywhere. The first thing. The
Yeah.
second is that I feel like with Landon, I have to, and like I have to shop online because with Landon, I can't be going out, spending hours and hours shopping for people. So Blake and I actually sat down and like literally sat down one night on Amazon and just like went through our for the different people that we're getting gifts for, and then just picked them and added it to a list, and then we're just gonna order all at once from Amazon, and then it'll be shipped here, and then we'll just wrap it, and then we'll take it with us. Or if in y'all's case, it'll get shipped here, and then we'll wrap it and then mail it to you. But yeah, I think definitely online. What about you? Y'all did mostly in person so far.
Yeah, we've been doing a bit more in-person shopping this year. We normally do. I think Derek and I really enjoy just like walking up and down the toy aisle and just kind of seeing like the things that Phoenix likes. And I honestly am very sad because there's no Toys R Us anymore. And I just remember going through Toys R Us and just being like, they would have the coolest toys that Target and Amazon or Target and Walmart like didn't have. Like they had all those toys that like you didn't even know existed, like the Lego sets that they only sell at Toys R Us, or the certain dolls, or the certain types of, action figures or whatever that are like Toys R Us exclusives. And we don't really, it hasn't even occurred to me to go, I mean, I don't even know if Toys R Us still has an online presence, but it hasn't even occurred to me to go onto Toys R Us's website. As far as I know, they still have a website that you can shop from. But I just miss like walking through Toys R Us during the holidays and like seeing all the toys, and I look forward to doing that as a parent. So I'm kind of sad that we don't have that ability to just go to one place and know that they're going to have every toy you could possibly imagine ever. They have an online?
Toys R Us has an online store.
Oh my gosh, I totally need to go on there.
Yeah, that's an hour of my life gone. I will be spending lots of time on here. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I literally just was like, let me look this up really quick. Yeah, wow. Still not as fun, but still cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put that on Instagram and be like, hey, did anybody else know that there's still Toys R Us online? Yeah, so there's a Toys R Us online. So not the same as walking to the store. So what we've been doing though, we have been doing a lot of in-person shopping as far as like sending like Landon and my nephews on Derek's side of the family. We're probably just gonna mail them, Amazon them, and have Amazon gift wrap them and just be done with it. Since I have Amazon Prime, like it's just so much easier to do that versus like getting it home, wrapping it, and then mailing it. I rather just do one thing, have Amazon do the whole thing, and then yeah, it's fine with me. So do you have like a limit or like a budget for your shopping for Landon?
Yeah, so I think Blake and I okay, so we talked about what our limit was going to be, and we were like just came up with this whole plan in like 5 minutes of like, well, if we did like a $200 limit, because Ashley threw this out to me that in Derek's family his mom did like $100 per year they were alive basically until they were 9, and I was like, that's actually not a bad idea because then we just do $200 this year, but I feel like we are going to end up spending more than $200. Like just one of the gifts, I was looking at the pricing for just one of the gifts Blake wants to get him, and that eats our budget already there. So he's also getting a lot. He's going to get a lot of gifts between Blake's mom, our mom, y'all, Blake's sister. Like Landon's going to get so many gifts. So Blake was like, he's going to have so many gifts. Like maybe we should just get him like, we got him a couple things already. But maybe we should just get him like one or two more things and then just stick with like maybe getting some clothes and whatever and then just calling it. But in my head, our limit is $500. What did you guys? I don't even know. I bet you guys don't even have a limit. You're gonna say the limit, and then y'all aren't gonna get any more close to
it. Yeah. So we have a limit. Our limit is actually, we're gonna try to keep it under 500. I think we've already spent 150 or almost 200. But our big problem is that we also have to deal with the fact that Phoenix's birthday is January 3rd. So it's sort of like, okay, do we get him a bunch of gifts for Christmas and then like one big gift for his birthday, which is I think is what we might do. Or do we just like, I mean, we can't not get him presents for his birthday. So it's like, I mean, last year actually, Derek and I actually didn't buy him a present for his birthday because we did like this big, we did his birthday. Well, you were there obviously, so you know, but yeah, we had a birthday party at Play City, and that was like $500-600 for that gathering. So Derek and I didn't really get him a gift. But all of his friends got him gifts. So he still ended up with a bunch of gifts, and then you guys got him a gift, and then Derek's mom always sends like a specific gift that's like his birthday gift or whatever. So, yeah, so we're kind of thinking about that. I am thinking like we'll maybe get him, what we'll probably do is try to is get him a bike for his birthday because he needs a new bike, and we'll just make it like his big birthday gift is that we get him a bike. We'll take him, he can pick it out, whatever. But I just don't want him to be sad and like miss having like a birthday party. So I think we'll still do like cake and ice cream and let him blow out candles and unwrap gifts here at home. And then as far as like a party, I have no idea. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. As far as Christmas, we're going to try to stick to 500. I think that we should totally be able to stick to 500 with like there's not really a lot of things on there that are like $200 to $300. There are a few things that are like between 50 and 70, and that kind of stuff can add up really quickly. So we tried to hit, have been trying to like hit the sales since they've been doing like those monthly, Black Friday all month sales at like Target and Walmart. So we've been trying to like jump on those, so we can save a little bit of money and still get him a lot of gifts. So, and then we have the same situation where, Derek's mom sends so many presents every single year for us and for Phoenix. So it's like, we're going to have, and then from you guys, I know you guys already got him a gift. And then I think my mom is sending a gift. I don't know what she's sending yet, but she's sending a gift, or I think I bought the gift. I think she said that she's going to go in on one of the dinosaurs that we bought Phoenix, and then we can wrap it and say it's from her. But I haven't talked to her about that, so I just need to figure it out. But yeah, basically $500 is the budget. Hopefully we'll stick to it. But we'll see. So that's for the kit for Landon. Do you find it hard to like find like shopping for an only child, like not trying to go overboard? Like that's really hard for me.
Yeah, it's really hard for me not to just want to get Landon all the things. And I just be in the store like, I'm gonna get him all the stuff and everything in here and blah blah blah. I'm just like, okay, no, I don't need to he doesn't need this, or like I'll think something's super cool. And then I think Blake just wants to have this Christmas where it's just like, all the presents under the tree, and then we just sit there and just Landon opens all the gifts, and it's just like big, like he wants to do this huge thing. And we're gonna still have that because when we go to Arkansas, we're still gonna have that. I don't know what we're gonna do about a tree in Arkansas. I think we may end up just going to buy a tree, because ironically enough, you can still go to Walmart and buy a tree the day before Christmas. I have done it. So we may go and just like hop in on the Christmas Eve, like last minute, like the trees will be on sale and all the decorations are going to be on sale, and we may just like decorate a tree with his family at the cabin. But Blake just really wants Landon to have like us to have like this fantastically beautiful, Christmas. So he just really has like a bunch of ideas on what to get Landon, and I'm just like, okay, we just need to stay in a budget. I don't want to just like go crazy, because we just have to limit ourselves too. We also have to limit Landon's expectations too. Like I don't, like there were years when we were growing up where like we would each get one gift, or we didn't have like a huge like tree on Thanksgiving, some years when we were kids. So like I think that it's hard to balance my vision of what it is. But then again, it's like, he's my kid. If I want him to have all the things, then maybe he should have all the things, like within reason. Yeah. But I'm not gonna spend $10,000 on my 2-year-old, because that's dumb, because you're gonna get bored in like 2 months. But I really want him to have like I think what's key with a toddler is giving them a bunch of things to open. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a bunch of super expensive stuff. They don't know how much stuff costs. But if you just like wrap a bunch of different things, like they could just be like smaller things or whatever, you just wrap a bunch of things in different, shapes and sizes. They'll be equally as excited to open it as they are to get it. Until obviously they're Phoenix's age where they really kind of like understand the gifts that they're getting. The thing that was new for me this year was normally I'm not shopping for two sides of the family. So this year we shopped for Blake's side of the family and our side. We didn't go down the rabbit hole. Like we did immediate family gifts and their child. So Blake only has one sister and she has two daughters and a son. Well, the older daughter and son are married and they're not even coming to Christmas. So they will get gifts from their spouses' sides. Does that make sense? Their spouses' sides of the family, and then their parents. So we're not going to get gifts also, and we're not going to get their kids gifts. Because if we start going on that rabbit trail, then I have to start getting all my cousins and all their kids gifts, and like I'm not trying to do all that. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So
and Derek and I, we give his, like, Dayton and Wyatt, who are his sister's sons, we get them gifts, but we don't get like Erica and Devin gifts. We don't buy gifts for our parents either. I send a Christmas card, but like we don't send gifts to them. So yeah. But I think that gets hard too. But I was gonna say, like, when you were talking about earlier, we talked about it a second ago about like not going over, and like I feel like with Phoenix, we're really trying to like build this sense of gratitude in, and it started really to like, and I know it's because of his age, but it's just very much like you don't even understand like how blessed you are. So,
yeah.
So it's so frustrating because it's like, okay, and this will go into like one of the questions I wanted to ask. And I asked Mom this, and I was like, how did you manage buying us gifts before Christmas? Like, did you just like cut it off? Did you just like keep buying it? Like, you'd like put a limit, like, okay, if we buy anything, it's not going to be over $10 because we're buying stuff for Christmas. And she basically was just like, I don't know. We kind of just, if you wanted something, we kind of just got it. If it was like a big thing, I would say, we can put it on the Christmas list. But like, I just kind of, there wasn't like a method. It wasn't like okay, November 1st, no more gifts for 2 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. And so things that's like hard for us too is like, okay, Phoenix wants this toy or that toy, but like we want to get it, we want to get it for him for Christmas. And I don't think like he doesn't have like the ability to understand, like, if we buy you everything before Christmas, you're not going to have anything to open on Christmas morning.
Right.
Like, where do you think all the presents are going to come from if we just buy you everything already? So we're kind of like trying to teach him, like, there's kids that go to your school. I think I said this in another podcast too. There's kids that go to your school that just aren't, that their parents can't buy them everything that they need or that they want, basically, So I don't know. It's a struggle. And I asked Derek to talk to his mom about this because, we basically were taught that because we just had holidays that weren't as big as other holidays. So we learned that growing up just basically because of our life. Whereas Derek grew up, every Christmas was what, like I said, they always had toys. There was always big gifts. There was always like tons of family with presents and this and that every single year. So we never had a Christmas where it was like, oh, we don't know if we're going to be able to buy you guys gifts this year type of thing. We never had that experience. But I would say Derek is very grateful and shows a lot of gratitude and is very giving and caring and cares about other people and stuff like that. So I asked him, I was like, talk to your parents and figure out how they explained it to you. Because for me, I learned it because of life experience, but somebody at some point had to sit you down and be like, hey, be grateful because not every kid has this, So I told him to talk to her and like kind of his mom and kind of like, maybe she can give us some advice on how to do that. But, yeah. So, okay. What else? What else should we talk about the holiday?
About shopping. I didn't do any Black Friday shopping. We're probably gonna end up doing a little bit of last minute. We literally just moved, so our Christmas shopping is gonna be a little bit last minute, like, which is why Amazon's gonna come in super handy because we have Prime. So it'll be like we'll be able to still get Christmas gifts ordered and delivered in a reasonable time, the ones that we're going to order online.
Yeah.
But we're also going to be gone, so like we're trying to, like, Blake says he wants to do Christmas when we come back for here at home, because I was like, well, maybe we could just do it the morning before we leave, and then we just open gifts in the morning. But the issue with that is that if we open gifts in the morning with Landon before we leave, he's not going to want to get in the car and leave them. He's going to want to sit for 3 hours and play with them. So I was like, okay, so this definitely makes sense. Or, I mean, I told Blake this, like, part of me is a little like bummed that I'm grateful, but a little bit bummed that his mom bought like all the gifts, like a bunch of gifts for Landon, because I still wanted like the joy of like, this is from mom and dad. Like, I want you to like, thank you, mom and dad, for getting this for me. And like, Blake's like, well, that's kind of selfish. I'm like, he's getting it regardless. I'm like, I realize that, but I don't like, I would like to be Santa. I want like to be super excited that I remembered to get him blah 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 that he really liked, or like you and I got him something that was super cool that he really loved. So as grateful as I am,
that's a good
all
thing
of our
too.
family members.
You guys don't do Santa, right? Obviously.
No, we don't.
Yeah. I've had to have multiple conversations because Derek's mom still, even though I've told her multiple times, we do not do Santa Claus. Phoenix doesn't even know who Santa. I mean, he knows who Santa Claus is because they've talked about it in school, and he said little things to us about Santa Claus, and I'm like, I told him, I was like, Santa Claus was a real guy, but he's not bringing you gifts. The gifts that are under the tree are from mommy and daddy. But he was a real guy, that basically the same way mom taught us, that he was a real guy, a Scandinavian, guy that went around and gave presents to kids that were, basically like the movie Klaus that you watch on Netflix. We watched that last year. That's basically the story of Santa Claus. So it's like, that's great, but he's not flying around and whatever. So anyway, so we don't do Santa Claus here. And I think that's great because I don't want to be battling with a mythical creature that sends a kid every single year a $700 toy, and mommy and daddy got you the coloring books and the clothes.
Right.
No. So I'm glad we don't have to do that. But Derek's mom does send gifts from Santa every single year, and I just ignore the fact that it says gift from Santa on it. Because I'm like, oh, these are Santa Claus's gifts. Like, I just ignore that part. I'm like, this is from Nana. Like, this is from your grandmother. Like, these are the gifts she got. I don't put like, oh, Santa Claus's gifts. Like, I've told her multiple times, we don't do Santa here. Like, I don't know why. You save yourself some time and just don't put Santa Claus, but it's fine. Like, I know that she's doing it like out of the goodness of her heart, and like to her, it's part of like the magic of Christmas, and like it's just very sweet and stuff. But like, we just don't do it. So, and he doesn't, people might say, oh, he probably feels deprived. No, he doesn't. He doesn't feel sad whatsoever. He still gets gifts regardless of if I bought him or the Easter Bunny or Lacey or Nana or Aunt Amber or whoever bought them. He still's opening them. So it doesn't make it any more special because it's from Santa Claus. He just wants to see the presents. Plus, we don't have a chimney. So where the hell is he coming down from? Nowhere.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah,
that's kind
anyways,
of, yeah,
that's my rant.
Like, I just don't feel like it's necessary to, I feel like Landon can think about Santa just the way he thinks about Frosty the Snowman or Jack Frost or Olaf, for all I care. Like, he doesn't need to think Santa is real to still enjoy the beauty and the magic of Christmas. I feel like, the reason for the season is not Santa. So he doesn't need to think it is. And he also doesn't need to think too that like Santa did, like I wasn't good, so Santa didn't bring me anything. Like Blake was having I overheard a small portion of this conversation with Blake was having with his mom about Santa also. And Blake and I had already decided that we're just not doing Santa because we just don't, I just don't see the point in doing it to me. It's 2020. Why do we don't, there's too many, like, you literally Google Santa Claus online, and unless, they're doing a fantastic job, somebody's going to spill the beans that Santa is not real. It's not like it was back in the day where you could just keep that on the down low. Like, no, it's legit. Like, somebody's going to spill the beans for your kid. And I'm not trying to be a liar before Landon, starts elementary school. Now I'm a liar because I told him that Santa was real and he's not. His mom's point, I think, was just that she's like, well, I don't want to, if he doesn't get a gift from Santa, then he doesn't think he's good. No, he got a gift from his mom and dad. fact that he got gifts from mom and dad,
Yeah.
who are the ones that are with him and that like give him the discipline, and the ones that, you know, take care of him and feed him and clothe him and get him to school and get him to, like, those are the people that he should want gifts from. So, and I also don't want Landon deciding to be good, quote unquote, because of Santa. I want him to be good because he, like, we taught him well, and he has morals, and he has, like, he wants to, like, please God, and he wants to, like, have us think highly of him, that he understands right and wrong. Like, what does Santa have to do with that? Nothing. Like, I totally thought I was a great human and a great kid without Santa bringing gifts. Like, how mortifying would it, like, what would it have been for us when we were in hard situations where, like, we didn't get gifts, and my mom had to explain to us that Santa just forgot us this year. That's a lie that nobody's trying to keep up with. Like, Santa does not exist to, like, people and children that, not, I don't want to say poor, but that don't have the luxury of Ashley and I debating on whether or not we're going to spend $500 on Landon or more. Like, a lot of families don't have that luxury, and for those families, they're not going to be able to always give the gift that Santa, quote unquote, would have been able to bring them, because Santa can bring anything. And if you just write him a letter, you're going to get that. You're going to get that gift that you wanted. You know, like, I'm not trying to have that argument on Christmas. Why didn't Santa bring me my blah blah blah? Because we couldn't afford it this year. That's why. You know.
Yeah.
So
why didn't we get a PlayStation 5? Well, because the store was sold out. So
yeah, exactly. So Santa couldn't get it. Well, didn't the elves didn't make enough? No, because elves don't exist. That's why. Arguments. I'm telling you, these are arguments you don't need to have with your kid. Just tell them it's like any other, you know, imaginary creature that lives in the world. So was there anything? We already went over time. I'm always going over time, Quinn. Is there anything else about, like, holiday shopping that you wanted to add?
I think the last thing that I want to say is a lot of people are talking about shopping small. And I think, at least in California, it's really hard to shop small right now because they've closed everything. I think in Los Angeles, there's no indoor or outdoor anything. They're basically completely in a lockdown again, like they were in March, except for big box situations and strip clubs and liquor stores, but everything else is closed. So, I would say look into things like Etsy, look into those type of websites and try to find, like, small businesses that you can support, even if it's simply, like, you know, buying a gift card from them, or, like, buying a keychain. I don't know. People are going to be happy to have a sale in general if you're buying stuff from their small businesses. So I would say to remember to think that, and also remember to support your Black-owned businesses as well. And honestly, just supporting any businesses right now, because regardless, I know small businesses are the ones taking the big hit. But restaurants, you know, small restaurants too, buy gift cards from them. Remember, when you're thinking about ordering to go, like, try to order to go from places that are small businesses, because those people who own these small businesses are going to be struggling during the holidays because that's their livelihood. So, but yeah. So on that note, I think we should get into our go girl and no girl, and then we can wrap it up.
Yes, ma'am.
So my go girl this week is that I have decided to start running again. I did a long post on my Instagram basically talking about why I decided to start going into the process of losing weight again. And it basically, or go back into getting more fit in general. And it basically goes back to, before the pandemic started, I was going and doing, I've talked about, if you go back to before the pandemic started, you remember me talking about getting my schedule together and everything finally with going to the YMCA and doing, like, my yoga a couple of times a week, as well as doing Zumba Strong a few times a week. And I was really getting into a good pattern of that. And then the whole world shut down on March 16th. So I basically had no routine on, like, how to keep in shape, and I gained back 20 pounds. Like, I've lost 20 pounds now. So I gained almost 40 pounds over what I normally weigh at. And I was getting really frustrated by that because I was working out at home, but it wasn't, like, really doing it. So I was like, let me just go run, you know, because that's what I used to do. I used to run track, and I wasn't a long distance runner by any means, but we did run a lot. I used to run a lot. And I was like, let me go back to what I know. Well, I tried to run and I was in so much pain. I can remember being so much pain. I was like, I'm not really a crier, so I didn't cry, but like, it was literally just like so frustrating because I thought I was like, I'm just going to go for a casual run. Like I used to be able to do this in my sleep, but my ankles and my shins and my feet and everything were just like cramping and in pain. And I had to like literally stop running and like limp back home. And like, it was just like really like, I mean, it was like embarrassing. No one saw, but it was just like embarrassing because it was just like, wow, like what did I do to my body that I literally can't run a mile? Like, so I was like, well, as soon as I get in shape, I'm going to be able to run a mile again. Like, so I did yesterday, decided, I was like, you know what? I really want to go for a run. Normally it's rest day. I went for a run and I did run that mile. I ran it under 11 minutes, which I guess is fast, kind of. Like, I'm used to people running miles in like under 5 minutes. So I'm like,
they say if you can run a mile under 12 minutes, you're fit.
Well, I know that there's people that like, you know, back in high school, you did those fitness tests and they want you to run it under 12 minutes.
Yeah. If you can run
which
it
is
under
basically a nice
minutes,
jogging
you're
pace.
super fit. If you can run a mile under 8 minutes, you're very, very fit. So the fact that you ran your first one you did in under 11 minutes, like 10 something, and then you did you said today it was under 12, but you kind of like bullshitted around a little bit outside your front door before you started running when you started.
Yeah.
So it was probably.
It was like 11 minutes, and then the one yesterday was like 11:50 or 10:50. So like, yeah.
That's so great. I for sure probably could knock it out this fast right now and run a mile, and I would be really sad. I'd be at 20 minutes. I could bike a mile easily, but I could not run a mile. That would be really. I would not in 12 minutes. I could get it done, but not in 12 minutes. So that's really exciting. I was super proud. I FaceTimed her and was like, I ran a mile. I'm so excited.
Yeah, everyone like today at class was like, oh my gosh, I saw your post, like great job, like I saw that you ran a mile, like that's so cool. And I was just like, thanks guys. They're like, I couldn't get outside and run a mile right now, like da 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 da. And I was like, yeah, well, I mean, I don't feel that good about it because I know I used to be able to like basically sprint a mile. Like we would like mess around on the track and like run the whole thing backwards and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just because. And so now it's kind of like, okay, but at the same time, the fact that I wasn't even really trying or going at full speed and I ran it under 11 minutes is, I mean, I would say is good. So, and part of it was uphill, which I totally forgot about when I did the route I did. So I might, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's either one way uphill and one way downhill, or you have to find somewhere flat to run. But anyways, so did you have one that you want to talk about or?
Yeah, I'll share so I've been making it. I was telling Ashley this, like, I think Ashley's been pretty much consistently eating the same stuff over and over and over and over again. Is that probably a right evaluation of how you've been eating over the last 3 months?
Give or take, yeah.
Ashley pretty much eats the same thing every day. She'll rotate certain things, but it's a very, like, specific thing she eats. And it's because Ashley's a super picky eater. So if she finds something she likes, she just eats the same thing. I am not as picky of an eater. I actually have, since I had Landon, my taste buds have just really broadened. Like I never really ate onions or peppers or anything, and now I just really enjoy the flavor of them in my food. So I also like rice, which Ashley doesn't like. So whenever I go to the grocery store now, I really like I'll be going through and like, okay, so throughout my week, I'm like, man, I really wish like I can't get this in my macros, but why? So I'm like, okay, so this week my struggle was carbs because I like to eat fruit, and I eat a lot of grapes. That's because it's a lower carb food. Like apples are super high. If you're trying to do low carb anything, you can't eat an apple. Like you're not about to eat an apple because they are like 50 carbs for an apple. It's crazy, which is good for you. They're good carbs. I'm not saying it's bad, but when you're trying to adhere to your macros and you're also trying to lose weight under a certain amount of calories, apples are really hard to get in there because eating a medium-sized apple is not going to get me full, but it's going to eat all my carbs for the day almost. So yeah, I've been eating grapes, which is really good. But I also was like, okay, I also need to find something that's going to balance out my protein because things like peanut butter and nuts are so high in fat. Also really hard to fit in your macros and not filling. So I found jerky, which again, something I actually will not eat. But if you like jerky, there is a brand that I called, what did I call it? What did I say it was? Strive with a Y. It was on my, what did I post on? I haven't posted on, I didn't post on my Instagram. I need to post it on my Instagram. If you didn't see it, if you missed it from my Instagram story, check out my macro meals highlight. I'll have it in there. I found that. And also there is low carb bread that's like regular freaking wheat bread. That's low carb bread. And when I say low carb, it's 18 carbs for 2 slices of bread, which is super low carb.
That's super low.
Because the Dave's bread, the Dave's bread's very good for you, but it's like 50 carbs for 2 slices or something absurd? Like and some of the Dave's breads are like 45 carbs a slice. Like, again, really good, high in fiber. Like, I'm not saying it's not nutritious for you, but it does not work for me right now for my little bit of, calories that I'm trying to eat. So I was so excited about that. And then Catalina Crunch, I did post them I did tag them in my Instagram story earlier this week as well. It's also in my macro meals highlights. And they have this really yummy cereal that I got, which is also it's lower in carbs, but I can eat more of it than I can like Honey Nut Cheerios or anything else. And it actually tastes really good. So if you guys, hashtag not sponsored to any of those things, but if you want to sponsor us, let us know. But those things are so good. And they've actually made my week so great. I've been really actually enjoying doing this, and I'm on day 18. So a couple more days. What is it? It's not 21 days. How many days does it make the habit an actual habit?
I would say 60.
So 2 months. Okay. Yeah, I feel like they used to say 21 days. But anyways, all right. So on that note, if you guys have not already, subscribe to us. Please make sure you do that. Hit the bell if you're watching us on YouTube. Make sure that you leave us 5 stars. And also feel free to leave us a comment. If you're not following us already on our social medias, it's at Twin Life Podcast on Instagram and on YouTube and on Facebook. And if you want to follow our personal pages, I'm at Twin Lee and Ashley.
At Dreamer's Heart.
You took forever.
Sorry.
At Twin Lee and at A Dreamer's Heart on Instagram, and we had so much fun chatting with you guys, and we'll talk to you guys very soon. Have a good, I guess, into your holiday. Start of the holiday season. Merry Christmas. Say Merry Christmas to them.
Yes, happy holidays and Merry Christmas.